Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Andy in Singapore. If you haven't done so, I'd like to remind you to like and subscribe to my channel because I've got new videos uploaded every week just for you. In today's video, we are going to review the Specht Sohne Rectangular watch that I unboxed a few months back. This is a rather new model from Specht Sohne, and of course, those of you who are familiar with the brand, they do all sorts of homage, and this is no different. This rectangular watch is a homage watch of the Oris Rectangular. As opposed to the Oris, which is a mechanical watch, this homage here is powered by the VH31, which is a quartz movement which has a seconds hand sweep. So it looks a bit like it is some sort of mechanical watch, but in fact it is a quartz. There is no model reference to this watch, so we'll just call this a rectangular watch. And at the time of its launch, a couple of months back, there were a few different colorways. I think there is a yellow, there's a red, of course there's the black, and I chose this one, the navy blue dial version, to be sent in for review. So a big disclaimer here, I do not have to send this watch back to Specht Sohne after this review. So thank you very much Specht Sohne for sending in this watch. And now with the lens very slightly zoom in, let's run through some of the key specs of this watch. It has a really small case size of 28mm across. As with most rectangular watches, the case size cannot be overly big. This is due to the case proportions. We have a thickness of 10.5mm that is measuring from the flat case back to this convex sapphire crystal at the top. So it is a really interesting look to this crystal, this sapphire crystal. It is curved, convex, and it creates lots of distortion on the dial. The good news is we have a 20mm lug width, so you can definitely find plenty of aftermarket straps. The L to L distance here is 42.1mm, making this watch really small and compact, and I think it really fits this dressy style. At the time of this video review, the Specht Sohne Rectangular Homage comes in at close to 95 Singapore dollars. You can find this one all year round at some kind of AliExpress discount, and typically it goes around the $95 mark. Now let's move on and talk about the case design as well as the build quality of the Specht Sohne Rectangular Homage. Every visible surface of the watch is done in a polished finish, and we've got the very distinctive ridges running along the case length on both sides of the case. You can see here that the ridges sort of give the watch this character. And we have this case back which is held down by 4 screws. Again, it is done in a full polish finish. And we also have a 50 meters water resistance. So I guess when it comes to a battery change, this could be easy. In terms of case work and finishing, I would say there's nothing much to complain about at this price point. There are no sharp corners or sharp ends that causes any discomfort, so I think it's not too bad. But of course, we're not looking at very high-end finishing or polishing. There is no mirror-like surface or Sarasu polishing at this price point. The watch comes stock on this leather strap. It has this sort of waterproof inner lining. I'm not a fan of light colored inner lining, but since it is waterproof, I think it isn't too bad. We also have a really nice buckle done in a brush finish with polished chamfers. I was actually quite surprised, or pleasantly surprised by this buckle. It's an 18mm buckle and I think it looks great. So even if I were to change out this strap, I would definitely retain this buckle. Now let's move on and talk about the overall dial design. So as mentioned earlier in the video, we have this art decor design going on. The dial here is done in a really beautiful shade of navy blue. There is no shine, no gloss, no sun ray, just sort of a flat type of navy blue color, and it really matches this style really well. We have 3, 6, 9, 12 printed in Arabic numbers, and I think this is the thing with the art decor dials. They've got 2 different minute tracks, and it sort of adds on and improves the legibility. We also have a very simple set of handset design. The broadsword hands for the minute and the hour, and the seconds hand here is a plain Jane second hand with no counterbalance or fanciful markings. I don't think the dial is convex. I think it's a flat dial, but due to this crystal, this curve or convex crystal, you can see the distortion here is just havoc. It's not so easy to read time, especially at certain angles. So it looks best when it is straight on like this. So at various angles, you might find it a bit challenging to tell the time. But overall, I think it gives this watch this effect. Okay, this type of look to it. Let's check out the lume on the Specht Sohne Rectangular Homage. I was actually surprised to find that there is lume applied to the hands as well as the hour markers. So I think it looks really good. We've got the numbers as well as the hash markers loomed up. So the bad thing is, as we speak, the lume is starting to fade out. But I guess it's still a good effort by Specht Sohne for adding in lume to this design. Zooming out for a reshot of the Specht Sohne Rectangular watch, you can see that it fits really well. For some reasons, this watch looks thicker than the 10.5mm would suggest, but I guess this is because there is some degree of slab-sidedness to the design. So there's no mid-case to speak of, and it does look like it is very slab-sided, so gives this illusion that the watch is much thicker than the actual specs would suggest. Overall, it wears really well. It's a very small watch, and I think it's suitable for people who are looking for this type of design. For today's size comparison, I'm going to bring in my Citizen Stiletto. I don't have a watch that is in similar style to this rectangular design, so I think the closest I can find would be the Stiletto, which is an ultra thin watch. We're looking at 28mm case size versus 37mm case size, and here you can see the difference is there, but in terms of L to L measurements, they are actually quite similar. I think low 40s, 42 to 44mm. And this is how rectangular watches and round watches, this is how they differ in terms of design and dimensions. So there you have it. That was my review of the Specht Sohne Rectangular Watch Homage. I would say this is a really nice design. Stays true to this art decor design, and it's definitely worth a look if you're on the lookout for a rectangular watch for not a lot of money. Alright, I'm not a big fan of the VH31. I actually prefer quartz watches with ticking seconds hand, but I guess if you're a fan of the design and you like the sweeping seconds hand, this could be a good choice. If you like this video, if you like this watch, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons. This is Andy in Singapore. I will see you next week for more watch review videos together with George, Pixie and Roly Poly. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.